do with tagging the fish, fish in the water, and that sort of thing. My ultimate goal in this is to not pull the fish out of the water. It may have to happen. Got some ideas on how to handle them if we have to do it. Very possible. We have protocol sheets here. What to do if you hook a fish. I don't care if it's a croaker. I don't care if it's a flounder, whatever. As soon as you hook up, get on the radio. My big goal here is I want a weighmaster there so we don't have to pull it out of the boat. I mean, pull it onto the boat. If you cannot get a weighmaster for whatever reason, 3 phone numbers on there. Okay? We're not going to have a fish on a boat for a half hour. We're not going to have a fish hanging for a half hour. That's not going to happen. There's Marty. There's a gray area there. The gang knows who we are. We're, again, the elite, responsible fishermen. That's what I'm targeting in this derby. Okay, we're the class act. Okay, and we've set up arrangements in the protocol that we do not have to look like idiots. Okay, other derbies, some of you probably heard recently, had some real issues with sturgeon out of the water too long. I don't want to see that. With the 3 phone numbers and the 5 weightmasters, it's going to be handled where we don't have to keep a fish out of the water that long. Okay? And from my last 2 days of fishing, I'll get to that later, probably not going to have, you probably have 3 weightmasters coming on you if you have a fish hooked up. I'll get to that later. Okay? Again, I can't emphasize enough the quality of fishermen we had last year. We had 187 fishermen, radio etiquette, handling the fish, just overall behavior was classy. Quality guys and ladies. I'm really pushing that. I'm real proud of that aspect of it. When people at other derbies hear about ours and talk about this, there's not going to be anything negative. It's like, that's the class act. That's my pet peeve. Go ahead.
He's got a nice big net. Getting the net and pulling up beside his boat, keeping it in the water.
I think that's better than a snare perch, in my opinion. I don't have a snare in my boat anymore. Like Marty said, with a net, you're suspending the whole fish instead of hanging them from one end. You legally can snare a fish. You legally can net a fish. Your judgment call. I net everything right now. Okay, and if it's too big to net, it's too big to bring in the boat. And we'll take pictures and pop it loose outside. Somebody has to hold my ankles so I don't fall in the water when I pop the hooks out, because my freeboard's pretty high and literally they're holding my ankles so I'm falling in to get the hooks out.
I just hear you like your ankles held.
What if you just reach out and cut the leader, it's all 6 pounds?
You know, a lot of these leaders have stainless steel hooks, and they're clamping the mouth shut if you have a double hook rig sometimes. I would prefer to get the hooks out of the fish. My best effort to get the hook out of the fish. Bronze, you know, hot metal steel hooks will rust out soon, but still that fish can't open its mouth, and if you can get them out, get them out. They're very durable mouths. I mean, they'll heal up. I would prefer to try to get them out as best possible and let the fish go on its way without any restrictions on its mouth. Okay, with that said, I want to talk about launch ramp etiquette. It's going to be an issue tomorrow, a lot bigger than last year. We're expecting double what we had last year, 400 to 500 fishermen. Okay? Huh? I don't know. The girls are
about 125.
I think I got that slip.
Or 225.
We're up there. Please, when you go to launch your boat tomorrow, if you're launching your boat, get everything ready ahead of time. Don't tie up the ramp. Have somebody there, drop it in, you know, run it over to the field dock, try to get everybody in the water as fast as possible. Okay? Don't launch your boat, go get bait, things like that. You know, it's common sense. Everybody knows. Everybody had to wait for people. You guys know what to do. But have everything prepared before you launch your boat. Boom, in, out, gone, and we can get everybody in the water if there's an issue there. Okay? Radio etiquette. I harped on this last year. If anybody fishes the Super Bowl Derby at night and has your radio on at 68, it's the most disgusting time I've ever heard. Okay, and nobody can argue that fact. I turned the radio off. Okay. Last year, our group was excellent. Everybody worked together. There was no issues. Very, very classy. Quality fishermen. I want to keep quality fishermen in the Derby. Okay. So when On the radio, it's basically common sense, you know, politeness, no opening in the face. If you think you're talking, if you approach talking to the face, they can smack them. Okay? Simple. Okay. These people that go out these radios, in my opinion, it's smart. They're just looking at them, they got issues, and they're looking for attention. Okay, and when you go and holler at them, it fires them up even more. Okay, ignore them. Anyway, anchoring. Here's a biggie.
I'm just saying, if you don't have a cell phone, you hook up the water edge.
Okay, good question. We actually haven't thought of that. If you don't have a cell phone and you can call anybody on the protocol sheet, what do you do when you got a fish and you can't get a guy on the... I've got 2 radios. I'm running one in 88, one in 68. I'll hope somebody has a cell phone. Okay, you got to contact. We got 5 Waymasters. 5 Waymasters plus Jeremy and I are listed on there. We're on the radio also. You're on 88? You can do that.
Alpha.
88, yeah. Yeah. We've got 3 phone Waymasters. We shouldn't have a problem. We didn't last year, but we got more people this year. 3 phone numbers, 5 Waymasters. Get on the phone and calls. You can't get a master, and we're going to deal with that. We've got plans on that so we don't harm any fish.
What's the preferred way, VHF or
Okay, here's the thing. This was a big issue we came across just a few days ago. A lot of fishermen don't want to say on the radio. It's like to have people coming down on top of you. You know, you see a whole lot of antennas and both. Geez, I can do them with the problem I have with people calling on the phone first, it's more time you got to deal with that fish. You hook a fish, you get on the phone, you get a hold of George, number 1 on the list, or if you can't get a hold of, you get Jeremy or me, you're calling on the phone. Now what we're going to do, we're going to cell phone a Waymaster, we're going to call them on the radio, we're going to see what's the issue, why aren't you there? We're going to get on it, okay? That all takes time. Meantime, this guy's fighting the fish, and he's probably got to the boat now, we're still trying to get a Waymaster. Go to the radio first. Okay, and I'm going to talk about running around tomorrow because of the fishing conditions, and if we'll get to that. You're going to want to fish as much time in the water as possible, not just chasing radio fish. You'll kill yourself chasing radio fish as far as getting them. But please, go to the radio first, because even though there's a Waymaster in that zone, I might have another one cruising over here, and he's closer. He goes, hey, I get it, I'm almost there, and boom, we got a guy there. You show up with a stick, check the fish, fill out the sheet, give you your tag, boom, good to go, fish is gone.
If we just call for a Waymaster?
Get on channel 68.
Just call Waymaster.
Hey, we got a fish hooked up.
Where we are.
I need a Waymaster. That's all you got to say. Don't. Then the Waymaster, whoever's, you know, just say, I need a Waymaster on general direction. The closest one's going to grab it and say, okay, I'm on my way where you are. Boom. Okay. I don't want people, because the guy hooks a fish, go a bunch of boats flying over there. Okay. That's wrong. Number 1. You'll kill yourself doing chasing radio fish. I mean, that's just that much more time you're out of the water. Tomorrow, honestly, guys, you're going to have to put a lot of time in the water. So yeah, just radio fish. The phone numbers are there for basically so we don't let a fish hang in the water or sit on a deck. That's why they're there, for emergencies. So we're hoping we've got everything covered, and these fish are all going to go back alive. Back to anchoring. Every sturgeon fisherman knows how sturgeon travel through the water. You do not want to anchor behind a boat or in front of a boat. Okay, explain why. You anchor behind a boat, number 1, you're hurting yourself, because if the fish are on a line, the boat is going to get first shot at any feeders that might want to feed that day. So you're actually handicapping yourself, okay? And if they get it on and they got to chase it, it's going to get hung up in you, it's going to get, okay? You anchor in front of a boat, you're corking the guy behind you, you're cutting off his fish that are coming down, and if you get a big fish, a good fish, and that runs, going to get his anchor line, you're going to be upset. It's more likely that person in that boat will not help you save that fish. He's going to release it. Now, I'm going to tell you a true story, and probably shouldn't, but it's a true story. It's got to be 18, 20 years ago. Fishing an Alameda rock wall. I'm in my 18-foot skiff, herring spawn, wide open bite. Like 20 boats there. We're anchored, and there's like for a 2 or 3 hour period, you could not stand up and look around and not see somebody fighting a fish. There was a fish going the whole time. It was just wide open. Boat comes in front of me, anchors like 50 feet right in front of me. Back in those days, I would go ballistics. I would yell and scream and all that. I started carrying that over when I started doing this professionally. Then everybody started seeing my name and number on the boat when I'd yell and scream, and they'd say, man, that guy Flash, he's an asshole. Okay, so I started building a bad rap. So I thought about what I was doing. Most of the time, the people just don't know what they're doing. They don't understand sturgeon, okay? This person pulled anchor in front of me, and I yelled at him. I came unglued, I opened bow 18 foot, I'm on the front yelling at him, you know, telling him, you're going to hook a fish, going to get in my anchor line, you're cutting off my fish, blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't speak English, so they told me. That's as far as I'm going. Okay. We fish, and about an hour later, I hear all this yelling, screaming from the boat in front of me. They're yelling that their fish was in my anchor line. So I went up to the bow, shocked me. The head of the fish was right, a little bit out of the water, right on my anchor line, right there. About a 60-inch fish. Whoa, he's right here. So I did what Marty said not to do. Got him by the gill plates, lifted him up, popped the hooks out, and they're all yelling. I go, man, nice fish. I let it go. They come unglued and left. So do not anchor in front or behind. Either side is fine. If you get too close and you get a fish and it runs over and tangles up your neighbor's lines, not you're too close. Okay, my personal feeling, people probably argue about this. If I sit here and there's a boat way over here and I get a fish to go sideways, it's very unlikely he's going to cross any of their lines. I'm okay. Some of these fish run a long way sideways, so just keep that in mind.
Steve, you did mention how far you're talking about the front or behind the boat. And some people have this perception of what that is. Can you explain what a comfort zone is?
Okay. I chased a fish 4 trips ago. We went about 200 yards. Okay, typically on the stronger the tide, the bigger the fish, he's going to run a long ways. You know, it's a judgment call. I can say, hey, you got to be 500 yards downrange. A lot of people argue that because it's a real gray area. What the fish is going to do? Front of you, fish are coming through. Same thing. I would say at least, 300-400 yards. I mean, it's a big bay. Why can't you go 100 yards to the side and nobody has a problem? A lot of people have control. Keep in mind, these fish, the number one sense of this fish in our opinion, or our target, is smell. Everything smells with these guys right now. Scent is very important. Noise is very important. If you're in fish in shallow water, you got boats coming and going, dropping anchors, spooks the fish. They're very sensitive to noise. Come in quietly, drop your anchor, don't throw it out there and come blasting like a mad dog. Common sense. Come in. If you're fishing there, you don't want to blasting on you. Common sense. Quality fishermen. Shallow water, the worse it is. Exactly. Okay. Real briefly on raffle. Everything we've done to put this together, myself, George, Grove, and everybody, it's all volunteer. 100% of the money we collect goes back to you guys on a percentage basis, every penny. Okay. My volunteers, they all volunteer. They're not expecting any money at all.